Recording in progress.
Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 82nd public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, September 11th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond and I'll be host today along with Mark as a co-host, and I believe we're ready to dive into today's public meeting for testimonials. That means knowledge seekers and others who have experiences of the plasma technology. This is the place where we tend to do our show and tell, and this is the 82nd meeting, meaning that we've had 82 months in a row of continuous monthly testimonial meetings. And like others, we have personal testimonials, and we'll begin today with a testimonial from Joseph. So, Joseph, would you like to go ahead, please?
Yes, thank you, Rick. So I'm Joseph from Austria, and last Saturday I had an experience where I had to really wonder myself. And it's just what I have experienced and what I and my conclusions about it. I cannot claim anything and that it's right or wrong, but I would like to share it with you. So I was at a wedding, and as usual, as many times, people that need something and I'm able to give to them, they find me or I find them. So I found a couple and I have taken special care of them for this evening. And because I could feel their need and give to them. And it was at the place, a restaurant. At the first level was only the wedding people. At the bottom, or many other guests. And there was a big green area with a lake where you could swim in it. And really, it was a very big area. So I was at the first level and I recognized the two people are not here anymore. And I had one thought at this moment, just where are they? And I had my feeling was not changing. I had no feeling of guidance or something like it. And my thoughts were like switched off. But directly I went to them. So I found them directly without searching for them. It was like like a manifestation from soul level. My conclusions and my thoughts about it, it's I have concluded that a soul level has nothing to do with the meta state. But as long as we're in the body and we are and the soul is attached to the meta state, because without the soul energy we are not able to experience. And maybe when we are sleeping, soul is free. But as long as we are in physicality and moving, experiencing, the soul gives the energy to us. And this moment got me wondering. And so I wanted to share it to you. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Interesting take on things there, and it's funny how when we pay attention to certain things, how life kind of changes around that, you could say. Okay, we have another testimonial from Andreas. Andreas, would you like to go ahead?
Hello to everyone. Yes, I can go ahead. I have a testimonial about a beautiful accident, I would say. It was very crucial, but on the other side, beautiful. It was one of the days I thought I take myself time with my son and we go in a gorge. And we did. And before the gorge, he said his shoes are too small, it hurts, and that I had to give him mine. So I was barefoot. And there's a gorge where you have to climb 5% of the whole way, but again and again. And it's very slippery there. And sometimes you are in 5-6 meters high. And you every time have to hold yourself somewhere, because if you slip away, then you fall down and on other rocks, and that wouldn't be good. But it's not difficult to climb, and just an adventure with my son, and it was beautiful hot day. And then my son went a different way, the better way afterwards seen, and I swung myself on a tree trunk, which was, I believe, 30 centimeters thick, and to come on the rock where my son has already been. And when I sit on the tree trunk, it suddenly broke. And I fall down close 2 meters, and I injured my knee on the inside, also not in the knee, but on the left side of the knee. It was a very hard bruise, very hard, very hard. I never had such a bruise before, and I'm happy that the bones or the joint isn't broken. And when I looked up, I was lying there, total pain at the foot, and I don't know how I fall. I have other areas too on the foot where it hurted. But when I looked up, other tree trunks came in my direction and fall also on the knee, on the right side of the knee, in the same area, like on the left, only on the right, and also down, more down. But the heaviest tree trunks hit me on the right of the knee. So I had then 5-6 tree trunks on myself till the hip, because they adjusted a little bit after they crashed on me. And I had to pull them from me, and I thought I will throw away all at once. But I realized how heavy they are, so I had to do it one by one. And then I called my son. He should come to me. And I was sitting there and just was shocked. This was a gorge where we had no mobile phone. And when there comes the emergency, only with the helicopter and the rope, because otherwise the way back it's not possible for the normal emergency teams. And I thought, oh my God, my knee is damaged or my foot. And then I tried to stand up, and I realized I can stand, and the knee holds, the foot holds. And then the next thought was, I have to go now fast, because now I'm warmed up. And as soon as I rest too long, the pain will get more. And then that was the one beauty. I asked my soul, please, please help me now out of here. Because if you are injured and you have to climb and it's slippery, it's really heavy. And it was really a shock for me. And this point, when I look back, I'm very thankful for that. Because 10 years ago, I wouldn't have asked my soul to bring me out. And I'm happy and thankful from the knowledge of Mr. Keshe and from all of us, what we learned from each other, that we have a soul and that the soul is here to give and to help. And for this thought there, and for the question, for the ask to my soul, I'm very happy, and it really brought me out there. It took a while, and yeah, I was at home. And the other picture where you see the swollen foot, Rick, if you could give that in.
The first picture, you mean?
The first one, yeah, please. Thank you. Is it already changed?
It should be. Let me just double check here. Yeah, so that's the one of the leg and the main injury on the left
No,
side.
no, the first picture where you just see both feet.
Oh, that was the last picture that I have.
That is the last one, yeah.
Okay.
And here you see, this was the picture at my home. You see the right knee or the right foot, how swollen it is.
Yeah.
And I had no idea I was able to go normal. And then I went into the hospital and they said, yeah, they made the test. The ligament had nothing. Also, the x-ray showed nothing. And then they said, yeah, it's compartment syndrome. You can go home today, but you have to come tomorrow again to see what's going on. And if you have pain, come into the hospital. Then I drove home again. It was already more difficult to drive. And I was at home. I was laying down. I had my foot in the air, and the swelling or the blood comes into the direction of the body so that the swelling can go back. But after 1 or 2 hours, I was not able to hold the pain anymore. And I decided to drive in the hospital. I knew already, okay, there is a operation waiting for me, and I have to do it because otherwise I cannot hold just the pain. And the point was that if you have bruises and there are blood vessels which get damaged, the blood and the liquid of the bruise goes, a part goes down in the foot, or a part went down in the foot, in the downer leg, and a part went in the upper leg. And the part which went in the downer leg went also in the muscles. And the pressure in the foot, because there comes blood and it's pumping into the foot, the pressure gets so big that the normal blood flow cannot circulate anymore. And this is called a compartment syndrome. And if you don't operate it, then the muscle dies off, the nerves and so die off. And at the end, when it's went bad, then they have to amputate your foot. And I was not able to feel my toes anymore or to move my foot. And so it was already the perfect time that I went into the hospital. Normally it takes 12 hours to 24 hours, but at my case, it went very fast because I had a lot of bruises, 2 main bruises and a few more. And the closer I came into the hospital, when the emergency came, I was just more and more thankful to, I know now they will operate me and the pain is away and I'm on the safe side. And the people were also friendly, and also the doctor in there and all people which I met. And I just trusted them and knew they will help me. And the closer the operation came, the more happy I was, the more thankful I got. And I gave just then in the operation room, a few minutes before the narcosis, to all the doctors, to all the people in the hospitals, to all the other cases. And especially then also when the narcosis came, I felt already, oh, now it gets a little bit foggy. And I was totally detached from everything. Because if you have only such a pain and such an accident, you forget on everything what you possess. You forgot every stress what you have, because you have to focus only on one thing to survive or to get rid of the pain. And yeah, I was so thankful, and I wish to all, I gave to all, take everything what you need, and please help me, or take everything what you need in order to be able to help me. And suddenly I awake again, and there was so much, there was only love and care anymore. It was so beautiful, and the shock was away. There was no worries anymore. There was only love and care and nothing else. And the doctors and the, the whole operation team, and even the people from before, they had been here, and they came to me, and one went away again. And then after 1 hour, I thought myself, hey, why they are all so busy and I'm lying here, and all are so loving and so caring. But okay, it's just beautiful. Everything is okay. And the time went by, and I was wondering, I was a little bit alone, and somebody else came to me and went away again. And I thought myself, what I'm doing here, what is strange here. But everything is love and care. And I was just, okay, I wait more, and I enjoy. And yeah, that happened a few times. A few times people come to me and went away, sometimes a group, and then the single one out of the waking up room. And suddenly, after 2 hours or something like that, I realized it made click, and I was awake. And I realized instantly, I was totally clear in my head, that I was not awake 1 to 2 hours. I was in the soul dimension, in the energy dimension. And the people, what I have seen, I mean it not totally clear like in a dream, were the people what I have seen before in the operation room, and the energies were working with me on soul level, and the pictures what I see as people were the interpretation of these energies. And I was just overwhelmed, because I remembered the teachings of Mr. Keshe, and I realized how crazy I have been all the time on energy level. What a present. And the shock was away. There was only love and care, and that overwhelming feeling, and the being thankful and also humble very much. That stood yeah, till today. But in the hospital especially. And I realized when I spoke then, when I had been in the wheelchair and I was able to drive smoking, when I spoke with the people, that I speak out of my soul. Because as I said, when you have such an injury and such an impact, the life is just different. You forget everything what you possess in matter state. You forget your whole stress, what you may have in your life or what you have to do and everything. And you're just you. And I realized how I spoke with the people, with others in the wheelchair who lost their food, how they feel. And I tried to explain a few things about the soul and the emotions and about fear, that they lose their fear. And it functioned, I believe, in a few cases very well. that was also a beautiful experience. And what showed me again the detachment. The more I get home, then I saw when I was at home that the old physicality life comes back, and that is trying to block your real connection, what you have into your inner being or to your soul. But there was then another experience. You can also put the photo with the seam inside, if you want, Rick, if you can. I had the second operation. Yes, yes, exactly. And the process here is that they cut the skin and give things into the muscle and into the food that the blood can come out. It's called compartment division, but I don't know exactly. However, they have to let the cut open. It was open for 4 days, and then they see if the swelling went back so that they can close it. But they were not able 4 days later to close it, so they make just a few centimeters, and the rest they let open. And then 1 week later, I had then the next operation, and the whole doctors, they saw 3 days before or 4 days, 3 days before, that it won't be possible to close it because it's just the impact was too heavy and the whole compartment syndrome was too much, the swelling was too much, and they cannot pull the skin together and make the seam because it would break. And one day before I had then worries, or I mean, there was such a love and care and such a trust. They planned it that I would have to stay 1 or 2 weeks longer till they are able to close the wound. And on this evening, one day before the operation, I was laying in the bed and I wished then, please, my soul and the souls around, help me. I would like to go home and continue with my work with translations in plasma technology. And yeah, next day I was waking up in the operation room, and suddenly he wouldn't have to do it, but he did it. The narcosis doctor or somebody out of the operation room was totally happy and said to me, "Hey, they were able to close the wound." And before the operation, I was wondering, hey, is that really true? My food feels totally different. It seems that the swelling went back. That's not possible, no. But after the operation, this guy came to me and said, hey, they were able to close the wound. And also the woman which closed it said before, today we'll close it. Yeah, and so that was really also for me. Afterwards, I really asked my soul to help me, and it happened. Yeah, and 9 days after this accident, I was able to go home without crutches. Even the crutches were good because that I have not too much weight on the foot, but I haven't used it. I was so happy. Yeah, and since that I'm now, I believe, 2 weeks at home, and then you can put this picture in. You see the blood which had been here before. This picture is 2 weeks after the blood picture which was in my upper leg. And you see there's nothing anymore. It went so fast, and everything went so fast and beautiful. And I thought about it, how that I don't want to say that it went 200%. No, it went maybe 100% or 95%. And the key in this case was the love and care of the souls. And the love and care what I felt, because there is so much fear after accident in the people in a hospital. The people have fear how that will be. I hope all will be good. And also the doctors, or they say that can be. You have to be careful. You have to keep it clean, and in worst case we have to amputate your foot. And there's only fear, and this fear takes you the energy to bring everything back in balance 100%. So I don't want to say it went 200%. No, I would say 100% or 95%. And it's not a wonder, but it went very fast and perfect. The only thing at the scar, because it was a big scar, I don't have the picture from now here, was a little bit inflamed because of the movement. It's a big scar and a lot of current on it, and at every time in the bed when you move you feel it, and so it got a little bit inflammation with the seam. But since the seams are out, this also went back, and that's the topic for the next month, to carry this scar and also the rest of the hematomes, or even the bone marrow edema, which is not unusual, but I have still to regenerate. I was laying a lot. And there was also one thing. I drove with the scar, which was inflamed into the hospital, because, just what they say, maybe they have to reopen it again. Could be. You see, there are people in the hospital which had the same thing like I, and they had to amputate their foot. And so I just want to get sure I don't let it be. No, I take care, and drove into it. And they made a blood test for the inflammation value. And I had to wait 1 hour and came back to the doctor, and the doctor was shining there. And he said, I have to congratulate you. You have perfect blood values. And there is the CRP value. It's I don't know if the reactive protein, doctors know what that is. That's the inflammation value, which gives you which says how inflamed you are. And I had the value 0.0, and the doctor was shining and said he never saw that before. Yeah, and I'm just overwhelmed since today, and my life changed also since that experience on energy level, because the souls are such lovers and such givers. They only want to see you happy, every one of us. And we have to learn just to accept it and to love them back. And that's all what they want. And the beautiful time is coming to all of us, more and more and more. And I wish that every being on the earth or in the universe can discover and experience this unconditional love and care of the souls, and become also an unconditional giver, because then we have the most beautiful paradise what we can think of. And thank you very much to Mr. Keshe, very, very much for this beauty, and all the knowledge seekers around the globe which are working because they realized and experiencing more and more of this beauty, and all together we bring the beauty. Thank you very much.
Wow, Andreas, that's quite a experience you've gone through. Wow. It's amazing how sometimes traumatic experiences, and quite often through traumatic experiences even, that the soul shines through and gets us through those tough times.
I'm
For
trying to.
me,
What was the reason for the surgery? Actually, I'm not
that
clear
I had
understanding why they had to do so much work there.
I had a compartment syndrome. It's when blood is pumped into the muscle and between the nerves and so on. And the normal blood circulation cannot circulate anymore because the pressure is too big. And so the whole foot at the end dies off. So it is an emergency operation. But all was in time, so I haven't lost anything. The feeling is 100% here. And the important thing, what Rick said, that we have to go sometimes through dramatic experiences. And I ask myself why that happened. And it's not the only experience. But my answer is that I'm more thankful and humble in my life and appreciate the life more. I believe that's the only answer and the most beautiful answer for me. Yes. And now maybe Andrea is here. If nobody has any questions anymore, she has also a testimonial.
Hello, everyone. Andreas will translate in English for me, so it's a little bit easier to talk. Ich habe einen Erfahrungsbericht mit dem Wellness Center und dem Universum.
Andrea has an experience with the Wellness Center and the universe.
Der Hintergrund dazu ist, dass ich seit Jahrzehnten Probleme habe mit Verdauung, Verspannungen, Muskulatur.
And the background is that Andrea has, since a long time, problems with the digestion, with tensions and the muscles.
Das hat sich so geäußert, dass ich auch Schmerzen hatte vom rechten Fuß bis zur linken Schulter und den Halsmuskeln.
And it showed itself that she had pain from the left foot up to the right shoulder and the neck muscles.
Und ich hatte auch immer oft eine sehr starke Spannung im rechten Bein, die also fast unerträglich war, als würde jemand ziehen wollen.
And she had an incredible tension in the leg as somebody would pull extremely.
Ich habe viele Versuche gemacht mit Massagen Osteopathie, Atlasausrichtung, aber nichts hat geholfen.
She made a lot of things to make it better with massages or things to bring it out.
Egal wie viel Sport oder wie wenig ich gemacht habe, es hat alles nichts geholfen.
Does not depend how much sports she made. Nothing helped.
Vor ein paar Jahren hat mir eine Osteopathin, nachdem ich wieder solche Schmerzen hatte, erzählt,
After a few years, an osteopathist told her, after nothing happened,
dass das was sehr Altes ist und sie das nicht beheben kann.
that this is something very old and she cannot handle that.
Dann habe ich mir Gedanken darüber gemacht, mir ist aber nicht eingefallen, was der Grund dafür ist.
And I thought about it, but it didn't come to me. What's the reason for it?
Ich habe es dann wieder vergessen und habe halt viel mit Yoga und Sport das immer wieder versucht in Balance zu bringen.
I tried in yoga and with sports and things to balance it.
Anfang diesen Jahres war es ganz extrem, weil ich auch sehr starke psychische Belastungen letztes Jahr hatte.
And at the beginning in this year, it was very extreme because I had also psychological weights.
Und ich erkannte, dass es Zeit ist, das Problem jetzt wirklich anzugehen und lösen zu müssen.
And I realized that it is really time to put attention to the problem and to solve it.
Ich hatte dann die Idee, dass mir vielleicht das Knie ganz helfen könnte, weil ich auch im unteren Rückenbereich verschobene Wirbel hatte.
I thought then maybe the knee guns will help because in the downer spinal cord I had shifted spines.
Ich habe daraufhin eine E-Mail geschrieben und statt des Kniegangs kam dann eine Weiterleitung in den Wellness Center.
And I wrote then an email to the Keshe Foundation and they brought me forward to the Wellness Center.
Das war Ende März, wo also die Möglichkeit bestand, für 100 Leute, dass man zu einem vergünstigsten Preis eben eine Therapie machen kann.
That was in the end of March where the possibility was given for 100 people that they can make a therapy, a balancing.
Ich war dann natürlich sehr überrascht, weil damit habe ich nicht gerechnet und konnte erkennen, dass das wirklich göttlich geführt wird.
And it was a big surprise for me. And I was realizing that it is really divine guided.
Ich hatte dann ein Gespräch mit Herrn Keshe, dass die Therapie starten konnte.
I had then a talk with Mr. Keshe and that the processing can start.
Während des Gesprächs kam dann die Erleuchtung und mein Unterbewusstsein gab den Grund frei.
During the talk came the enlightenment and my unconsciousness gave the reason free.
Es war ein Sturz, wie ich noch in die Schule ging. Ich wollte mich auf einen Stuhl setzen und der rutschte weg und ich bin aufs Steißbein gefallen.
It was in the school time where I wanted to sit on a chair and the chair slipped away and I felt on the
Warte.
cricoid bone. The last bone in the spinal cord.
It's called a tailbone sometimes.
Tailbone, right.
Tailbone,
Thank you.
okay. I never thought about, sorry, ich habe da nicht mehr dran gedacht, dass es der Grund ist. Ich war selber überrascht.
For me, it was also a big surprise that this was the reason.
Und Herr Keshe sagte dann, dass das ein rein muskuläres Problem ist und ich keine verschobene Wirbelsäule habe, sondern das ist die Spannung, die dadurch entstanden ist auf der linken Seite.
And Mr. Cash said that this is just it's not a problem from the spine and the shifted spine, that are just the muscles which came from that something was shifted.
Ich habe mich dann dazu entschlossen, die Therapie zu machen, weil das alles so sein sollte. Ich habe das erkannt und ich hatte also keinerlei Zweifel und ich weiß, ich kann meinen Selbstheilungskräften vertrauen.
And I knew at this moment, I understood that at this moment that this is the reason, and I can trust in my own inner healing skills.
Ich wusste nicht, was auf mich zukommt, welche Schmerzen etc., aber ich habe absolut vertraut und habe mich einfach dem Prozess hingegeben.
I haven't known which pains will come, but I trusted and I devoted myself to the process.
Die ganze Therapie hat in Summe 3 Monate gedauert.
The whole processing took then 3 months.
Es waren 2 Sitzungen pro Woche.
It had been 2 sessions per week.
Und ich habe sehr viel über meinen Körper in der Zeit erfahren können.
And I experienced very much about my body in this time.
Ich habe sehr viel mit der geistigen Welt gearbeitet.
I worked very much with the spiritual world.
Und ich hatte zeitweise sehr starke Schmerzen, vor allen Dingen im linken Arm und Schulter.
Partially I had heavy pains in the left arm and shoulder.
Aber ich wusste, das sind die Selbstheilungskräfte, die wirken und ich dem Prozess absolut vertrauen kann.
But I knew that are the self-rebalancing forces and I can trust the process.
Mir ist auch klar geworden, da ich ja im Fokus hatte, die Transmutation irgendwann zu machen, dass dieser Prozess auch dafür wichtig ist.
And for me it got clear that if I want to make the transmutation, that this process is also important for me.
Aus dem Grund, weil die Physikalität ja sehr stark beansprucht wird und dadurch der ganze Prozess etwas leichter werden könnte.
Because the whole physicality is intensively used and so the whole process could be made easier.
Nach 3 Monaten war das Ganze dann, wie gesagt, abgeschlossen, die Therapie, und mir geht's jetzt sehr, sehr gut.
After 3 months then the processing was completed and I feel very well now.
Herr Keshe sagte damals im Gespräch, dass es aufgrund der langen Zeit, wo es her ist,
Mr. Keshe said then in the talk, because of the long time which is ago and where that happened,
kann es bis zu 2 Jahre dauern, bis der Heilungsprozess abgeschlossen ist.
it could take up to 2 years that the rebalancing process is finished.
Mein Gefühl ist, dass ich zu 95% geheilt bin jetzt.
My feeling is at the moment that I'm already at 95% back in my healthy condition.
Das zeigt, was die Keshe-Technik leistet und im Körper verändert, wenn man auch die richtige Ausrichtung hat, wenn man dem ganzen Prozess vertraut.
It shows which power the Keshe technology has if you have the right alignment and you trust the process.
Ich habe meiner Seele auch zu 100% vertraut in der ganzen Zeit und ich wusste, die geistige Welt unterstützt mich.
And I also trusted my soul the whole time, and the spiritual world supports me.
Und ich kann Andreas nur zustimmen, niemals Ängste zu haben, diese blockieren nur.
And I can confirm what Andreas is saying. Never have fears, those are just blocking.
Ich hatte vor kurzem die Gelegenheit, mich bei Herrn Keshe persönlich zu bedanken.
I had the chance short time ago to say thank you personally to Mr. Keshe.
Und ich möchte diese Antwort für alle Wissenssucher weitergeben, um ihrer Seele und ihrem Heilungsprozess vertrauen zu können.
And I want to forward this to all knowledge seekers, that they can trust in the whole process and they can trust their own soul.
Er sagte zu mir, nicht ich habe dich geheilt, sondern du dich selbst.
He said to me, not I helped you rebalancing yourself, you made it yourself.
Ja, eine wunderbare Geschichte, für die ich unheimlich dankbar bin und eine ganz tolle Erfahrung.
For me, it's a wonderful story and a wonderful experience and I'm very thankful for it.
Thank you, Andreas, for translating.
Thank you, Andrea, for your beautiful testimonial and your sharing.
Wow, that's another great testimonial. Especially good testimonials because they bring in the soul aspect in all of the testimonials that we've heard here today, actually. So it's not just using some GANs to create an effect. It's tying in with the soul energies and creating your own effect, in effect. This is the amazing part. It's, as they say, it's an inside job, and the secret really is in your brain, or more specifically in your own being. You can make big changes just by connecting with yourself. It seems very strange, but that's basically the way it goes. sometimes it takes a bit of a shock for us to be able to get out of our own physicality enough that the soul can help. Because if we're too stuck in the physical world, in the physicality, then we don't have access to that soul-based part of ourselves.
Thank you, Andrea. Is that what you meant when you said you went back to the spiritual side of the work, where you were connecting more on the soul level? You said at one point in your testimony you went back to the spiritual side.
Mark, I worked a long time ago with the spiritual side. It's a part of my life. And I know I can trust, and it's very important for me.
And that's related to the center or the soul, yes?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
So I can trust myself and to my soul. I know they help me every time. Yes, it's very important for me.
As Mr. Keshe said in the last workshop, that soul contains way more energy than all of the physicality put together. So it's quite a powerhouse. And we've seen some of the things it's capable of doing, like in these accidents where it retracts the physicality and keeps it out of harm's way for a nanosecond and puts it all back together. So it's a powerful, powerful entity. And we all have it. We all are carrying it. It's just a matter of acknowledging and working with it, I suppose.
Yeah, the three levels work together. What Mr. Keshe always say. And that what's happened. When you trust your soul, you go in balance with yourself, with your body, and everything else. And I use the universe since a lot of years, and it's very important for me, for my healing process in whatever I have. Or yes, I have some rituals every day which I use. Yeah, it's very important, and it helps me very much.
Did you actually spend any time in one of these units or some other processing unit at the when you were with Mr. Keshe?
I was never in Linz, Rick, but I was in Manchester.
Oh, okay. I see. So no machinery involved.
Oh.
Just worked on the soul level.
Right. I do it since a lot of years with myself to heal everything what is coming. We have all our packages, our backpackers, and I do it since a lot of years, yes, with my own soul.
So in this particular case, had you not thought of that incident where you bumped your tailbone? And was it being reminded, like it sort of came up out of your subconscious, is the way I understand it? But then you realized when you said it that was one of the or the key kind of incident that you could now focus on and resolve? Is that sort of the way it went?
I don't know why I don't get the answer all the time. I think about nothing is coming. And in the talk with Mr. Keshe, I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
It's enlightenment. You know it. You have no doubt. You know it.
Mm-hmm. So it was being with him helped you kind of wake up and have those insights then.
Right.
And then
Correct.
once you had those insights, then it was up to you to do the work to do the healing and the to fix the scars inside and so on, basically. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Very good.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
We hear you.
Hello. Thank you for sharing the beautiful experiences. Sorry, maybe, I don't know, Rick, is this, do you like it? Invite now to unify the souls, because it's 21 hours and Centralist time. It's time for unification also. The invitation from the Universal Council, maybe for 3 minutes. Do you like it, Rick?
Sure, we can do that.
Yes, only the people concentrate with their own soul for unification around 3 minutes, because many people practice in different form, but it's okay.
Did you
You
did
come
you say 2 or 3
3
minutes?
minutes.
3
There's a
minutes.
minute. It's
Okay.
okay. Okay. But the you start, it's okay. Thank you so much. And thank you, beautiful souls.
Okay, we'll start a 3-minute meditation or whatever you would like to do during that time for the unification of souls. And we will
The
start.
important thing is that you don't think. No one has to think. Because if you think, you're in the wrong place.
Okay, especially don't think of pink elephants. Okay, so let's begin our 3-minute session for giving for the unification of souls. And no thinking.
Yeah, the last tip, if you can recall the feeling of unconditional love when you fall in love the first time, if you can remember that.
Okay, thank you, Stefania. Let's begin. Okay, that completes our 3-minute meditation for unification of souls. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you so much for forming part to the soul of the peace. Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you for the reminder, Elizabeth. All right, let's move along here. Do we have any other souls who would like to give a testimonial of the plasma technology or something that's occurred in their life that might be appropriate to share?
I would like to add something. I think it was Stephanie, the one who was talking before. I came late, so I didn't hear from the beginning. But from what I hear, I thought, oh, that happened to me as well. And after we did, I took a part of the wellness group, Cosmic Ray and project. And I remember one evening I was lie on the bed, and always when I'm going to bed and I'm about to fall asleep, it's when I start to very often feeling these feelings that I felt during the sessions. And at one point, I start to feel like strong feelings, like same when I was during the session. I really felt this expansion, and anyway, I felt same feelings when I was in the section. And then, like Stephanie said, I had something said to me: "Is your body is actually you healing yourself and repairing what needs to be repaired, but you didn't know it before. Now you know it, and it's happening." So it was like then I don't know if it was a dream, or in the next day I thought, did I dream it, or was real? Because at the time it was very real. But in the morning, I doubt if I was dreaming or not. But I really felt like if I was able to regenerate myself just by using my own body. And it was very empowering feeling. And this happened after the session, this wellness session. So this was one of the many benefits I experienced. Apart that my life is improved in any sort of ways, like you feel if before you hear people saying stuff that it makes sense, and you think, okay, yes, we should do this, no, and you try to do it. After being in this session of the wellness center where you're using this cosmic ray, we did it for 3 hours non-stop for 2 weeks in a row. So every week we met one day, and yeah, you it's like something changing you clearly at the emotional level, where you are just not worried anymore. Like, it'll be like the song of Bob Marley, "Don't worry about things, everything is gonna be all right." You had this state where naturally you were not worried about. Everyone's got problem every day. We all have a problem. Everyone's got problem, but somehow the problem was not a problem anymore, and everything's gonna be fine. So you don't worry, you don't react so much to the environment. So you carry that peace and that joy or acceptance, or it's so strong in you that you're doing things you don't have to think about do them. You just do them. You are that things. So it's really nice feelings to feel in the zone of no worry, be happy. Really emotionally, I remember I had quite a hard time, with family, because they're the people very close to you, and sometimes they're the one easily can, you really have to pass the level with your family sometimes. So we all been in that position, but somehow after doing this session, I was less attached. Even my relationship with my boyfriend improved. Like you just don't take things personal as much, and then you feel stronger at work. You feel stronger. Maybe things don't go in the way you wish to go, but you're okay. And this is very nice to achieve. And I noticed that you have to practice, because I done some project before and I didn't practice much, and you lose. It's like you lose something. It's like you have some permanent change. They will always stay permanent. Like you feel like something is improved permanently. Like you done a step further, and you just step up, and you improved. So you feel like certain things are deep inside, like if the core of the problem as sorted, and then you just see the manifestation during the day on how you feel, on how you react, the fact you can be calm in any situation, because this is the true unconditional love, that you are nice also when when time is difficult or in difficult situation. Also, that is the challenge. So all these things happen naturally. So you just serving, you feel more, you have more compassion. There are lots of stuff happening. I felt after the session, but you have to practice them, because you do lose them, but you never go as were before. You always keep this improvement. And then you practice this to then don't go going higher and then lower again, but then keep it at where the level should be. And I think what this machine done for me, this cosmic ray, has just given me the opportunity to step up to that level, have the feeling of it, and try to recall it as much as I can, like a replication cup. But without thinking. So what I find very, very, very challenging at the moment for me is to sometimes don't think too much. I think too much. And after this session, naturally, you don't think as much. You're more in the feeling. It's like if suddenly you realize you got a heart, and you can feel from there, not so much from the head. So I really find very life-changing and long-term improvements. And as I said, I am a therapist, and also I'm doing neural classes. For me, it's very important to go to the core of the problem, and seems that this cosmic ray is the dream of everyone, because it goes to the core, and you improve from within. So I really had a very great result. So I really highly recommend it. It's a way to support the foundation, plus we benefit too. So it's a win-win situation. So I really recommend it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefania. So beautiful and true what you are saying. I thought about that when you have just a hospital, for example, is full of fear. And if there's just the love and care, and there is no room for fear anymore, imagine what just only that would have for influence on everyone. I believe half of the cases or the whole effort which is done wouldn't be here anymore. only because of love and care. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of movie now where they talk about some people, a young guy, he make a company to help people with addiction. And I was thinking, oh my God, this machine is perfect for this problem, because they want to help young people or society who's addicted to things. And I think Cosmic Ray would be perfect for this type of issues. So I really wish that this man meet up with Mr. Keshe, or somehow, you know, if anyone is good to reach these people. I make a list about all people can be reached. Like I make a list a lot of, because there are a lot of documentary about it, about a lot of issues. And a lot of time I come with the same things, thinking, this machine can be a really good solution for that issue. You know, if only these people knew about it. You know, so I think this system can help in so many ways. Even people who commit crime. Now there are this famous movie in America about adult making serious crimes, no? So like abusing children. So even this one in the machine can be really, really good. So, you know, if I feel the way I felt after this session, if that feeling can be replicated for everyone, the world will be naturally in peace without moving a finger. If it would be antennas of this machine everywhere, they can reach everyone. I really hope the government start to implement this technology.
Stefania, I think a lot of people, when they test the cosmic rays and they have not the best connection to their soul, and they feel the energy and the change in their body, they learn they can trust their soul. It's very important for the healing process of everybody, and everybody is on his own way. And I think it's a very important key, the cosmic rays, to trust my own soul. It's very important. I hope you can understand what I mean.
Yeah, I understand, because I know that you said you're doing 2 days. You said you're doing 2 days a week, no? And then you have 5 days off. This is the reason, because from my understanding, you have 2 days where you change the environment with this cosmic ray, and they bring the body, after all, is adjust to the environment, so naturally goes to balance. And then you have 5 days where you don't have the cosmic rays. So in these 5 days, your body have to start replicate what you had felt. That's why I said to you, I said before, that we have to practice. You need to be in that zone once a day, no? So then became second nature. So the cosmic ray are just like a Kickstarter machine, I see it. But you're right, is our body that does the job. And we have to learn to be able to maintain it. So then we can feel it. And then once you can feel it, you can control it better. So we can have a say on the way we feel.
Sure, yes. But I think it depends on each body. The process is differently. Maybe 5 days or longer, but it doesn't matter. It's important that everybody learn to trust his soul. That's the important key, what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I understand. I agree totally. everyone else had experience firsthand about the cosmic ray.
Shortly said, for me, every day is a new experience, and I receive so much love and care from my environment, and I also can give much more love and care. And the more it gets, the giving and receiving, the more beautiful every day gets, and it seems that there are no problems anymore. As you said, when I realize I think too much, then I come faster and faster to the point, hey, my soul is here, why are you worried? And every day there are less worries, nearly nothing anymore. And it's just beautifuler and beautifuler and beautifuler. And the beautiful thing is that I realized that all the others experience the same on different levels.
Anyone else care to share their insights? All right. Anybody else have any particular testimonials they would like to present or bring up? Got a video from Gianni that I can play. It's about 1.5 minutes. He's not here. I'm not sure if he expects to be here today or not. But perhaps if I play the video, he'll show up. Okay, I've only seen excerpts of this, so it's a bit new to me as well, but we'll play it through and see what happens. Okay, again, this is from Gianni.
Iată așa, acum merge, da. Iată așa merge, da. Puteți comentați, domnul Tudor? Pentru Gianni.
Gianni, salut! Gianni, Keshe domusul care l-am făcut noi cu Iura. Așa băieții ca și Serghei așa, savorează în cadă.
Gianni, salut, scris la știu.
Să arăt pe aici pe din afară cum e la noi, cum arată domusul.
Asta așa, și lumea care au avut răbdare și-au știut. Nu a fost dat ok,
Așa e cada afară care iese din domul și spală.
Și ne demonstrați lucruri. Nu ne demonstrați, dar așa e cum să-ți dați lucruri. Ce stare eu spun că ei este nu.
Că și balconul e la noi tot, e o cameră. Înăuntru sunt niște energii superbe. Când ai să vii, cred că o să savurași împreună. Bine.
Am luat
Hai.
și mi-a scris
Oh, what a delightful structure. Seems like a very lovely place to be in, very spiritual vibes to it, and almost fairy tale like. Amazing. All right, well, thank you, Gianni, for showing us more of your work. I believe he's built the dome for this and probably most of the rest of it as well. Be nice to hear from him directly, but showing the video hasn't made him show up yet. 2 days background image is one of the images from Mark. And do you want to say anything, Mark, about your plants? How are they doing? Are they all getting along good?
Well, the two big ones here were put in a facility. I haven't been back there in about 50 days, so I'm probably due to go there shortly. But they were doing well, and I had named them Joy and Abundance. We're creating a balance, a facility for, let's say, handicapped children, adults, and the staff was taking good care of them, and the other ones were just for myself and for giving away. But these definitely had 1,200 to 1 zinc and CO2 in one and just the opposite in the other. And I think I sent you some pictures of them, Rick, when they were just getting, and again, these are just when they were replanted, so they really haven't perked up in this picture, but I think I had sent you another one. But anyway, it was just to create a balancing device in an environment where handicapped children, adults reside. And I think it's been positive so far. There we go. That was after 3 weeks. And you can see one is joy and one is abundance. And apparently the staff is really taking an interest in them. And they've taken, I think I brought some other ones for them to take home and all. I originally had them separated by a whole room, one on each window, but they had moved it, I guess, fear they were going to get knocked over or something, and sort of put them in this alcove. But either way, they know what they're doing. I named them after the reactors Mr. Keshe had, I think, created in Iran. One was joy and one was abundance. And just the name alone is sort of elevating. So we're just creating a balanced field, balanced emotions in an environment. And very simple.
He called his reactors joy and abundance. I don't remember
that
one.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
And of course, they don't realize GANT's in there. They just look at it as a plant and so on. But I think there's work going on in the background for all of them. And of course, when I do visit there, we are sharing the plasma technology in a way, in a nice way. It was something similar what Mr. Keshe did, I think, in an orphanage or something, where people became more self-aware. I think they used a magrav and some other things, but this is, again, something similar. And I put my intentions and the rest of it in there just to create a balanced field, a better working environment, a better environment for the people who exist there. And of course, one of them is my sister.
Well, it's amazing what such a simple act can do to what would you say, raise the vibes of a space.
Yeah.
And allow people to, well, the word came up, self-aware. That's a good word to use for when people become aware of themselves and start raising their own consciousness, because the conditions have changed around them somehow, then that leads them on the path, basically, to further experiences of self-awareness and consciousness, which leads to unconditional love and to the connection with the soul and all of that. So it can be just one small thing, or one small change in the environment, or a change due to talking with someone. Maybe someone could make someone aware of the work of the Keshe Foundation, and sometimes that's enough information in itself, just that someone knows there's an organization out there that is actually working toward helping people become self-aware and raise their consciousness and be giving rather than taking, and so on. And sometimes just hearing that there's people that are doing that can be enough to raise someone's consciousness and put them on the path of more confidence in their own spiritual trip, you could say.
Right, like the peace treaty, and placing it in a certain position where other people can see and sort of get inspired by it.
You mean like when you set up your table on the beach? That was beautiful. That's a classic example. I wish I had that picture offhand. I'd have it buried somewhere, I think. But
we're all adding.
Pardon me?
We're all adding to it in different ways.
Yeah, it's just that was a classic example. If some people here might remember back to Mark's remarkable beach expedition with his table set up there, and
do tables at political work. We would set up tables and on the street or a post office where it was okay to do it, and promote political candidates and something. So it was quite a natural just to transition to switch it over to the platform, the one planet, one nation, one race, which of course I always thought we should have sovereign nation states and borders and the rest, but Mr. Keshe has certainly taken it to a higher level of understanding with we're already on a spaceship in so many ways, and the one planet, one race for world peace. This is the way we need to go and remove the borders and the passports and all the rest of it, because it's not going to mesh with the new technology of transmutation and being able to change locations. So I know that's in the negotiations in the background about dissolving the borders and moving into the one planet, one nation, one race for world peace. And then, of course, into the universal community. But we have to find that peace within ourselves and peace within other countries and people and entities on this planet. So just adding a little bit to it as we all do.
Okay, well, thank you, Mark, for your contributions. All of them, and in many ways. Just searching for other testimonials here, trying to find what might have come in various sources. Does anyone else have anything they would like to bring up here today?
Hello, Rick.
Is that Jefferson?
Oh, yes. Hello, Rick. Hello, Mark. Hello, everyone. Yes, I have a kind of testimonial to bring up in this meeting. If I have the opportunity to share with you all.
Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. Welcome, Ricky. Thank you. And I've been through those sections with the Soul of Creator, I think in 7 sections in a row since December, and where we could understand more about the fields and interaction with as a group and as unified souls, and during this process I had many insights from what's going on. I've been studying this technology around over 3 years now, during the pandemic, and after that, and studying and following the rules and the procedures, and studying a lot, and dedicating the time for this, to spread the knowledge for as many people as we can, and vertical people and stones everywhere. And in this process, I realized that I was growing in the field strength, in the soul of physicality, and the physicality was staying behind. And I was studying one of those health teaching from Mr. Keshe with Dr. Kastova. And it's very, very interesting. All of them are very interesting, but the one that call attention, among others, is that we must or we should keep our muscles moving in our body, in our bones, to increase the lymphatic system, bone marrow movements in such a way that it can create a kind of magnetosphere, and this, let's say, soul of physicality magnetosphere expands, so you can take it farther away, so we can interact more and more, as well as we can receive more and more. So I understood that I should make some. I was just doing nothing about exercises or whatever, and I said no. I normally like to ride bikes, and but even though I was not riding so much, but I made a negotiation, and I changed my bike, my regular e-bike. I like to ride the electrical bike as well, because we can go farther away without any problems. And I got a electrical mountain bike. So it's a very nice way of making exercise and breathing system and muscle. And I really felt that was really, really good to improve, because normally this kind of sport or this mountain bike, you just go through the trees, and you have places in the nature where you can ride. But the trails normally they are very rough. They are not so smooth, because you go through the trees, and you have hills, up hills, down hills, small places that you can make some jumps, and there are some man-made wood bridges, so you can jump gaps, whatever. And I was starting to learn and training. And normally I take in my bike in a bottle, those bike bottle. In the frame, I take normally the plasma water and few devices inside the bike luggage or whatever. And 3 weeks ago, I think, after one plasma reactor group, it finished a little bit earlier, and I had the day off that day. I said, "Oh, are you training earlier this morning?" And I took the bike, and I went to a mountain bike park that's specifically for this training. And I was, let's say, getting in the training, learning the techniques and the way we can interact with the gravity of the bike and the soil that we are, the ground, and in one of these maneuver, I miscalculated the speed and the inclination of the soil, and I had a crash with this bike, a very important crash. I rolled over after I made a jump, but I just thought that it would be a very small jump. But in fact, due to speed and the position that I was, the bike, instead of just going over, the bike just take off. It departed from ground and it flew higher than I was expecting. And the land, I think, was the worst land that I have made in my life. It hit the front wheel and I think in a root. And I and the bike, we both rolled over many times. And I was with the regular safety equipment like helmet and protection for the knees and the elbow, helmets, gloves, everything to protect the body. But after this crash, I didn't faith. I think I didn't lose my conscience due to the strong crash, and I just looked at me and said, "Oh, wow, that was interesting. It was very, very, very powerful, but it didn't work." But I said, "Well, probably I broke something." But I had the water in my bike, the plasma water, and I used it and to wash the head and the body. I drank a little bit. I was feeling a very hard pain in my foot. In fact, in the big toe. I don't know why, but I said, "Oh, my big toe is very painful." I put plasma water so I could just feel good. But the bike could not pedal because the frame was crooked, was very in bad condition. So I left this bike park. I was alone by the time. I normally go alone because I feel better to sometimes go alone and do things alone. I feel the interaction with the nature is much more interesting sometimes than the people. And I thought I was far away from my house because of this bike park. I went riding, and I was in the street and I saw one car, like a pickup car. I went to the place and I asked the guy inside the place. I said, "Oh, who does this car belong to?" He said, "No, it's mine." So I explained to him that what had happened. He looked at the bike. He said, "Oh, what do you need?" I said, "I really need someone to take this bike and myself to the mechanics that I must leave the bike there." And he said, "No, right now." I said, "I pay for." He said, "No, you don't need to pay anything. I take whatever you need." I said, "Oh, the world is so many good people, so many good souls that we have." And he put my bike in the back of the car. I took the bike to the mechanics, and I was not feeling anything. But I said, well, I'd better go to the doctor to see because I was feeling some pain in the wrist and the elbow. Well, it just was very strong. And I went to the doctor and made a lot of x-rays of the body. And the doctor told me, well, I don't know why, but I didn't break anything, any bone. You're okay, but you have probably you're going to have a lot of pain in many places because we don't know exactly what happened inside, but you were in good condition. I said, "Well, I don't feel anything. Only my toe from my right foot, it's probably it hit, so the nail of the big toe was damaged somehow." So I went home. He gave me a few pain relief. And the next day and the other day was very hard because the pain was all over the body, in the arm and the elbow and the shoulder and the knee, everywhere, because it was many. So I prepared many patches with I have many guns in my house. I have guns of nail that I made last year. I said, maybe I will make guns of my nails, so we can have some calcium that belongs to the body. I have many, Cup of Universe guns. I have many others. So I made many patches because after the next day, my body was completely bruised in many places, big bruises. So we could see that the blood inside was, it hit hard, it was spreading. But it was not like something that could worry. But I started to use all the dispatches and breathing device, and something that I'd like to share that I in this process helped a lot. I got some plasma water and I put it in many plastic bags. I put inside the refrigerator freezer to create ice, plasmatic ice. So the ice in the environment, in our physicality, it works through the inertia of our cells. And so I put the ice that works good with some kind of this trauma. And as well, to put after 2 days, putting some hot, not hot, but warm water, plasma water as well, to CO2 or cup of life 1, a little bit of zinc oxide to calm down and make some vapor, some patch with this vapor. So I made a little bit one time with the ice, plasmatic ice, and another time with warm plasmatic water. And things the next day or the day after, I had almost nothing. Everything works perfectly. I don't have so much knowledge about this technology in the body because normally we just try to help others, and I never thought about, let's say, I have everything here, but not to be used to myself. But it worked perfectly. Everything worked fine. I had, but one thing as well, beside my tools, my big toe from the right foot, because the nail, I knew that it probably hit it very hard in the ground. I knew that I would lose the nail. So no problem. I made a special patch with some gains of a nail and I put it there. I knew I would lose that. And that's what was happened yesterday. I lost the nail. But all things, I had one, although in the x-ray didn't appear, I felt that the rib, I had a very hit the rib and the right side of the body. Very, very hard. It was very painful, sometimes makes some noises. I said, oh. So I used a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, so I could spray the water in the shirt to make it a little bit wet in many different points to create different ratios and strength. And I used my little Coca-Cola bottle. Those Coca-Cola I had made as well, I think, in the beginning of the year. And this Coca-Cola bottle, it's just amazing. I just got the shirt wet and I put some, I have only 3 parachutes inside with the electrodes coming off. And we know that one of these electrodes deal with the atomic plasmatic hydrogen, deuterium, tritium, and the other one works more with the due to the configuration and the plasmatic wind inside. Works with the superconductor, and the other one works like a diamond structure that is more gravitational. So we just used one electrode at a time in the position. Well, sometimes giving, sometimes taking, sometimes balancing. I believe in 2 days I had nothing anymore. No pain, no. Just a small muscle pain because I think the muscle over the bones were kind of off. And I used all that I could. And I went back after 10 days. I went back to the doctor. He could not believe. He said, well, you have nothing. I said, no, I had many bruises, I had this problem, this and that. I said, well, but it should take you over a month for you to recover due to your, also due to your age and whatever. I said, yeah, I've been feeling really good. I've been using some plasma technology. I said, oh, plasma technology. I started to explain for him. He just laughed and I said, oh, that's it. Nobody believes, but you see, I'm here. Well, you saw the way I was, and you saw the way that I should be, because I should be completely broken bones and everything, and I didn't break. And so I'd like to share that was very powerful. Plasmatic ice, plasmatic warm water, in the Coca-Cola bottle. Coca-Cola bottle, it's a must-have. Everyone, in my view, should have, because it can reach any range of in the body as well as in the soul, because I believe the soul, due to the exercise that I was making before, opened a lot of this way of receiving these cosmic rays and the energy from the earth mainly, and the universe as well, that helped to fix very fine. And it's very easy to make, you know. The Coca-Cola bottle is the cola bottle, not Coca-Cola. The cola bottle is very easy to make. It's very, very interesting to have a breathing device as well, with the CO2 and ZNO, cup of life, only the water to breathe, to balance the situation. And I use as well my headphone, not during the sections, but 2 or 3 times a day. I used to put in my head and to share this experience with others. And today, after 3 weeks, last week I was okay, and now I have nothing. And that's what I'd like to share, that this technology, although we don't have a lot of knowledge, we're starting to understand how it works, and we are working more with the soul level and the transmutation, but we can make all of this in our body, and as well to learn how to help others, not as a doctor, but as a plasmatic way to do simple things that anyone can can do, anyone can make. You don't need to have money, you don't need to have a position. We can create many different devices, many different things as we see, like Gianni or all of you do or have done in the last 20 years. And say thank you to Mr. Keshe for all of this. We will keep trying to spread this knowledge in all these fields, not only the health, but as much as we can interact. So that's it's very brief, in fact, from everything that happened. And I would like to share and bring it to this testimonial and say thank you very much for you all, Mr. Keshe, and also understood in this meantime that if we love our family, love our friends, and we cannot leave them behind. We should, although they don't understand or they don't like very much to interact with this new science, we can give to them the love, the strength of this science, and they, even though they don't know, they are receiving it, but we must interact with them. I was left my family behind as well due to sometimes not agreement. Then I understood that we must have a balance between as Mr. Keshe taught, between the physicality and the soul of physicality and the soul of man. We cannot live without one, without the other, without a good balance. And those who love us and that we love, they make a balance point between everything so everybody can grow together. That's it, Rick. Thank you very much, you and everybody, for listening. That's what happened. And right now I'm pretty well and trying to share this experience among with you all. That's it. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone.
Well, another experience of a traumatic injury and a positive result coming from it, it seems. So thank you for Jefferson for that amazing testimonial. It's very similar to Andreas, actually, with his experience.
Oh, yes, Rick. If anybody have some question, would like to know something else, can give the feedback. Someone. And I lost the beginning of this meeting because due to appointment that I ran to come back, but I said no, I will bring it today. That's it. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, Andreas earlier showed we showed the pictures of his injuries, and he discussed his situation where he fell on a trail with a large tree, and the branches bruised and beat him up pretty good. And he had to be in the hospital for several days and so on.
Oh,
but he was he was quite thankful for his experience because he went through sort of a spiritual transformation, or he connected with his soul through this experience, and he found everyone around him was very helpful and very nice, and it all worked out in the end, even though he could have possibly have had his foot amputated and so on, if he had handled it differently, or if the doctors would have handled it differently. So he was lucky in the way that worked out, and he was quite grateful for the experience, actually.
Oh, I missed the beginning. Then I will see it again, the streaming.
Yeah, I think
and I
you'll
hope.
be able to relate to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because Rick, what is interesting. I hope that Andrea is much better now. Just after I felt that I was on the floor, something just came and said, "Oh, this is just for you," as a lesson. If you go ahead the way that you were doing, would be much worse. So the better to calm down and just calm down. Don't go further ahead than the limitations. And so I said, oh, that's a lesson. So I'm still, now my bike is okay. I can ride it again, but not bike parks anymore. No, the bike park. That's we don't need that. So why should we go and make things like kids of 15 or 20 years? Why? You can enjoy the life, you can enjoy this environment, but within the safety limits for the capacity. And it was a lesson. And the way, and I met so many people who are very simple, people who are so helpful, and they enjoy to help me. That's what's interesting, because I just look at it and said, no, I can do whatever you want. You don't need to pay. You don't need nothing. I said, wow. So I grew, and the vision of the people, when we give freely without expecting anything back, sometimes it returns with the power of strength of a good will. That was an amazing experience, but I must take care and not to go to a bike park so fast. Well, it's amazing. I recommend to everyone who have the opportunity to have a mountain bike and just enjoy the ride. It's amazing. It's a very it's a delicious exercise and environment interaction that the wind and the blow, and we can spread our fields wherever we ride around. That's it. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Andreas. Then I will check it again. Thank you.
Yes, interesting. Well, is there anything else that we should bring up at this time? Well, if there's nothing else, perhaps
Testimonial di Manchester, si possono dire qua? C'è qualcuno che sta a Manchester che vuole dire qualcosa di Manchester? Può dirlo qui o no?
Sorry, hello?
È una testimonianza.
Stefania,
Yeah, speak Italian, sorry. I didn't realize I'm speaking Italian. Sorry, I was thinking to speak in English. Sorry. I just wanted to say, is anyone who's been in Manchester would like to say a testimonial about it? It's possible to do it here now or no? There is something they can share for everyone. You know about Manchester? Do you hear me, Rick?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not sure what people are allowed to share. I think they've been told to
Yeah.
to not talk about
Okay.
their experience and so on. But perhaps they've been
Okay.
okay to say something about it. I'm not clear on that. That is a possible issue.
Yeah, I don't know. So I was just curious. That's it. Because on the last workshop, people were talking about their own experience, but you're right. We don't know what can, I don't know what they can say or not. Okay, not to worry. It was just curiosity.
And that's what he said about the London conference too. It's going to be handled very similar to Manchester, where there'll be no cameras, there'll be no reporting on it or anything sort of like that. It'll all be the experience of the people that are there, at least for now. So he said they'll take all the cell phones and the rest of it. So
The last public workshop, he talked about this machine that no one see before. That they're gonna manufacture it now, and will be out soon. No wires.
right,
I
that's
don't
the
know if you know
cosmic
about
bubble
that.
with the advancement, yeah, without the having to hook up into the electrical panel. So it's completely self-powered. And again, I don't know if it goes with the applications, but the ones that he had in Manchester, as he said, they were built exclusively for Manchester, and they're not the cosmic bundle. They're built for another purpose.
And what was the one that Dean was talking about before he got sort of banned?
Oh, I think that was the dummy one that Mr. Keshe said we left in the exhibition center. It was just a dummy one. There was nothing in it, in other words. It was just a shell. And maybe that's what Dean, I was thinking maybe that's what he had gotten a hold of. Because he said you could see it in the exhibition center in Linz as long as it's still open. And eventually it's going to get consolidated into just a headphone, and eventually it'll get consolidated into something much smaller that can be perhaps implanted within the body of the man to be able to do a transmutation upon desire to do it. You can hear that in the last workshop. And he had mentioned this before about shrinking these sort of bundles or systems into putting it in back of the ear at one point in time. He said that was a possibility. And something about interacting with the blood, which obviously carries the sugar and the salinity. And those two are preconditions for a transmutation. I don't understand much about it, but apparently it is.
Like a ear aid, you say, behind the ear, like a ear
Yeah,
aid.
maybe something under the skin behind the ear. I don't think you'd want to wear it loose or have it fall off or have it taken. So it'd be actually within the structure of the body of the man, as I understand it at this point. But of course, the way the development is going so quickly, you never know what's the next greatest thing around the corner.
Yeah, the last tests were supposed to be with pH. You take your pH before the test, and the pH after the test. I went out, figured, go to a pharmacy and pick up a pH testing kit, right? Seems natural. And I didn't think anything of it. I went out the day before the workshop, and I went to the first pharmacy. They don't have pH tests. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth pharmacies, none of them had
I did
the
that as
pH
well.
test kit. And
But
went to
about
2
6.
clinics besides that, 10 different places. None of them could help me for a pH. My mouth was just
Really?
dropping at the end. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
that this was true. It's like, it's a basic sort of test for your health condition and so on. You'd think it'd be all over the place. And
Yeah.
I couldn't find the pH paper tests anywhere. I ended up with
You went to the aquarium store.
no,
For the
that's what
fish.
I should have done. I ended up getting what do you call it? A UTI test, which I thought might have had pH paper in it and tell me, but UTI is basically like a infection, and it'll tell you whether your infection, whether you have an infection or not, but it doesn't do your pH. So I tried that anyway. At least I don't have a urinary tract infection, which I don't even know if men can get it.
Oh yeah.
And so that I ended up spending $20 for a kit that I didn't need, that didn't have it, and couldn't get it anywhere. It was very frustrating. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I think I went to 3 pharmacies, maybe 6 or 8 months ago. I started checking my pH, but I haven't been able to hold it over 7, even though I've been using some calcium bentonite clay and green tea and a couple other things. I haven't been able to hold it. But Mr. Keshe said that one change in just the holding that pH above 7 in the alkaline section would give a lot of relief to many conditions. So apparently a healthier body is one that's reflecting more of an alkaline environment rather than the acidic. I'm still on the acidic side. I haven't been able to hold it, but he said we're planning on holding it, and that was part of the salinity is for something with the physicality to hold on to. He gave a little clip in the last workshop about it. And the sugar is the dimension of some sort of dimension of transmutation, which I don't understand that either. But those two are important precursors to be set properly, I think, for a transmutation.
Well, the next session will be on sugar, with sugar levels. So
I thought the follow-up Friday was a continuation of the first session.
The sugar is for diabetes. If anyone knows someone who's got diabetes, it's a perfect test to try.
Wasn't the second section, Rick, on the 18th of September?
yeah, that'll be on
Monday. Is it Monday? That's the second session.
I thought it was on a Friday again, actually.
Oh, is it? Is it the following Friday? Maybe you can just check into the store. These tests are important. It's not only for yourself, but it's helping develop a space program. So it's very important, I think, to, if you can, to be in and take part in these tests, because you're creating a huge base of so many different things that we're not even aware of what Mr. Keshe is collecting there. But it is an encyclopedia.
I think
And
we should
giving
the link to how much they cost and where people can enroll. Because if you speak about this test, but you didn't say from where. Maybe they got confused.
Yeah, I'll put the page up here and
Right. Let's see.
get the links together. So, yeah, there's
So
2 sessions. Well, it just shows 1 session now. It's on the 15th. That's Friday coming up.
it says part 2, Rick.
Yeah, part 2, 15th of September.
Right. And he said that last Friday's session would continue next Friday. Okay. I'm not sure.
How long
I
is
thought
the session?
I thought it was mentioned the 18th was the second session on the sugar.
Don't
But
see that here, but maybe there's an additional day.
oh, you can't click on that and find a different date, huh? Okay.
No, it's only got the one now. You used to have 2 of them, the 8th and the 15th.
And
Now
you
it's
do
just
need
the
something
15th.
to check your sugar, don't you?
Yes, you need the...
He's asking for a report and a survey.
there's a number of ways you can check your blood sugar levels. So they have ways you can pierce your finger, and they have sort of a painless pricker thing, and then they have a one that's, I think, without using needles altogether. It's like a sensor deal.
Right, you need a reader though
expensive.
I think, yeah. I don't have such a thing at this point.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that yet, but those kits are available in pharmacies at least. It's funny, they almost ban, it's almost like they ban the pH tests as if they don't want people testing their own pH.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found even the health food store only had one, and it wasn't actually what I wanted. I think it was a liquid pH
That's
indicator.
an idea. I should have checked that out in a couple of the health food stores.
But they only had one, and that's all they had. So you would think, again, the importance of the pH is related to health conditions. It sounds like it's extremely important.
Well, it is in the sense that the blood pH is extremely important. It's hard to get a... same with sugar levels. They go up and down quite a bit, so it depends on when you take the test, whether your recent foods you've been eating has changed it and that kind of thing. But with the blood, it's very exact. Your blood has to be like something like 7.28 or something like that. Within a few hundredths of a pH will make a huge difference in your susceptibility to disease, or if you have disease, then it shows up in the blood pH and that kind of thing. But it's very critical in terms of the blood. It likes to keep a very constant pH, and if that varies a little bit, that means we're sick, or something is infecting us, or something else going on with our food is not correct, and that kind of thing. Alrighty, anything else that we should discuss here? Okay, I think I'm going to wrap things up then. Thank you, everyone, for being here today for the 82nd public meeting for testimonials. We've had some very nice testimonials, and seems to be focusing on the issues of the physicality and solving them with the soul. So it's a very lovely way to go, and it's nice to see that people are picking up on this and actually trying it and experiencing it, and it seems to be working. That's great. It confirms confirms our existence in the technology. Okay, next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which will... No, I'm sorry, that's not correct. The next public teaching workshop is the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, which will be tomorrow. That's Tuesday, September 12th, and that starts at the 4 p.m. Central European Time. And people are welcome to attend and hear from members of the Universal Council who will be presenting the workshop, and bring any wishes or needs of your community to that workshop so that the Universal Council can address it in a soul-based manner. Okay, I guess that's about it, other than the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group is on Wednesday at usual time of 7 a.m. Central European Time. And folks are welcome to bring your replications of the plasma technology or other experiences, and it's a good place for discussions of various topics. Alright, I think that's it for now. Again, thanks everyone for being here, and try to save up your testimonials for the next testimonials meeting, which will be in October, second Monday of the month in October, always the second Monday, and that will be on Monday, October 9th, and again at 8 p.m. Central European Time. Alrighty, go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit as per usual, and see you all in the next public teaching workshop or somewhere. Bye for now.